Evening, folks. Brian here. It's Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. A little bit of a fireside chat. Going to talk about prepping. I'm going to start off about food prepping. As many of you know, I grow as much food as I can. Try and be 100% self-sufficient, independent from the system and its poisons. Because I've known for the past 8 years where we would be right now, which is why I do what I do. I can tell you it's like a full-time job. It's more than just, planting some seeds in the ground, come back and 3 months later. No, it's a full-time job in between. But then you got to get into your preserving your food. End of the season. You got to make sure you have all your equipment, everything you need. If you do not have the space, and again, I'm on a simple home lot, but I'm using about 900 square feet. If I have a hanging basket, growing whatever, that's a square foot. If I have a blueberry bush in a pot, that's 2 square feet, and so on. I also think about preserving your food and what equipment you're going to need. One thing that a lot of people don't realize, like during the pandemic, for example, a lot of people turned their front yards into vegetable gardens. And they rushed out and bought up all the mason jars and canning lids and so forth. But eventually, you're not going to have it. Your ceiling lids, just for example. So you need to figure out how many jars of food you're going to do for a year, need for a year, times 20, 30 years. And you're going to realize that you're going to need thousands, if not into a 10,000 of these lids. Now, the responsible prepper, we don't go out and we just mass buy. We buy a little bit at a time throughout the course of each year, and we start accumulating them. Just one example. We're not the only ones prepping. The government and elite, of course, are prepping now, more so than ever. With the news of that $22 trillion underground city, or cities plural. So the government and the elites are preppers, just like me. And they're getting ready for preserving their foods. One thing to watch out for is mass food recalls, such as they've been happening recently. Anyway, I'll come back to that. There's a lot to learn about growing your own food, protecting your own food. I've learned 8 years ago that because of the increased ultraviolet radiation coming in, among other things, it's like it sucks the moisture out of the soils. This is why I cover as much as I can in polycarbonate panels. Protect it from the UV radiation. Which can also affect the soils, or it decreases the soil's microbial biomass and soil nitrogen content. I just realized this, how much you need. Spinach, for example, I like spinach in our smoothies. So when you blanch spinach, you boil it for 30 seconds and you flash freeze it cold. You scoop a bunch out, you squeeze out all the moisture, and I make like spinach patties. So in order for me to have enough for a year, I need to plant 1,000 spinach plants twice a year. These are not grow lights. I just put them in there because they look cool. In fact, I have to get to harvesting a lot of these. And blanch them, prep them, freeze them. So yes, a lot of work involved. This is the busy time of the year for me, and it will be until the fall. Then I do my fall planting, succession planting. Different states and levels of preparedness, obviously. And those who have prepared will endure, and those who have not are going to suffer. As for those who have prepared, hiding buried deep below the earth, well, they'll be sealing themselves in their own eternal tombs. So don't get mad, don't get jealous. Okay. They're just sealing their own fate. They are not Christians. They are not believers. There's a great shaking coming, folks. It's not just on our planet, one location after another and another. But the foundations of our church is also crumbling. Then the deception comes in disguise of a solution to be entrapped into the beast system. And now if you've been paying attention, if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, we're now beginning to witness the wars and the rumors of the wars. India, Pakistan, Yemen, Gaza, Iran, Taiwan, Ukraine. I think about 80% of the world has no clue. 15% have an idea that there's something coming. They don't know what. That leaves the remaining 5% of us. There's some bad weather rolling in. $2025 is going to be the last year we're going to have any, well, it's going to become more difficult when it comes to growing our own food. I've got to cut this short, folks. Rain's coming down. Oh. Moon is just peeking through. So as I start harvesting my fruit trees, for example, this is the first time in 3 years they're going to be productive. I'm going to have about 1,000 pieces of individual fruit. Peaches, apple, pear, apricots. So I'll show you how I do my canning of my fruit. I can with pure natural honey. I do not use the white granulated sugar, pure honey. It tastes a lot better. Obviously, it's healthier. Anyway, folks. So, hey, listen, one more thing. There's over 30,000 members on my Facebook channel, but only 3,900 on my YouTube. My YouTube channel revenue is going to be a required part of my income. So if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification button. I'll be doing most of my work there, still maintaining my Facebook. I'm trying to get 2 videos done a day, good videos. Anyway, folks, my smartphone's starting to get too hot from the fire here, so I'm going to call it quits for this evening, and I might be back later on tonight.